Welcome everyone to stretching to lower the blood glucose. In 2011, the Journal of Physiotherapy published a study showing a program of static stretching that could lower blood glucose by an average of 18% after 20 minutes and 26% after 40 minutes. The researchers concluded that static stretching can be another valuable tool to help regulate blood sugar. So why does this help? Well, it relies on two major physiological principles. The first one is that to enhance glucose transport out of the blood and into the muscles should be held in the stretched position for at least 30 seconds. The second principle is that holding a stretch for at least 30 seconds and longer increases blood flow, which is important for reducing blood glucose. So the guidelines for the stretching program are thus. First of all, you want to hold each stretch for 30 to 40 seconds. You'll then have a 15-second rest between each stretch. You want to repeat the stretch 4 times. Now, for the sake of time, we're only going to be doing it on the video 2 times, but you'll want to do it 4 times. So that's a total of 2 minutes for each stretch. You want to use an intensity level between 1 and 3. So you're feeling a nice stretch. There's very light pain. There's no discomfort or a real pain there, but you do want to be able to feel the stretch. You're going to do all 4 stretches on one limb before you then go to the other side. And you want to do the stretches in the order that we're going to be doing them today. The researchers also recommended that you do a basic stretching program or one like this if you're targeting the blood glucose several times a week. All right, so to get started, we have 9 exercises that are in our reducing your blood glucose program. You do want to have 2 chairs, or for this first exercise where we're going to use the chair, you can also use a bed or a couch. You'll also want a little section of wall where you can put your hands. We will be using that in a few moments. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So because we're using chairs right now, I'm going to show you how to set up your 2 chairs for our first leg stretch. Oh, I'll also mention while I'm doing that you do want to have your muscles warm before you do static stretching, and static meaning they're not moving. So I do recommend doing this program after you've done, you know, like your daily walking, or even just moving around your house, going up and down the steps. I suggest putting on a song, dance it out, just warm up the muscles a little bit. All right. So we're going to pretend that this is like a bed or a couch. So we'll start with our left leg. So you're going to sit on the one chair, and then lift up your left leg and place it on the left chair. The right leg, you're just going to relax down. So you can see if you are on your couch or your bed, this right leg is just going to hang down, but you're welcome to use the chairs. So get yourself comfortable. Now this is where you're going to focus on the back of the thigh. You want to feel a little stretch. If you're a little more flexible, you may not be feeling it just sitting like this. So bending from the hip, think of bringing the chest forward just a little bit. So my low back is perfectly straight, but I am now feeling this stretch in the back of the thigh into my glute. Okay, so here we go with our 30 seconds. You may also want to put on some soft music or something. I usually do my stretching or my yoga practice always to some soft music. I think it helps a lot to relax. Good, so a couple more seconds here. Good, all right, here's your 15 seconds of rest. So just bring that torso up, rest it out. We're going to repeat 2 times. You're going to do it 4 times. All right, here we go. Second time. You're just doing some nice, soft breathing. Good. All right, go ahead and release. So then you would pause the video here and do it 2 more times. We're going to move on to the right leg. So just, I'm going to have to turn the chairs, or you're just going to sit on the other chair, going the other way. All right. So now bring that right leg up. And again, the left leg is just going to relax down here. If you were on your couch, especially your bed, then this left leg would just relax. All right, so putting a little bit of tension there so that you feel the stretch. We'll come into our first 30 seconds. Good, and then relax for 15 seconds. All right, here's our second time, second 30 seconds. Good, all right, release the stretch. So go ahead and put your second chair to the side. We're done with that second chair. Actually, I'm going to put it over here because that's my wall that I'm going to use. And then coming back to your main chair and walking up towards the edge of the chair. So widening your feet. We're now going to do a stretch for the inner thigh. So we're going to place our forearms against the thighs. Take a nice big inhale, and with your exhale, you're going to pull the chest forward. So I'm basically just tilting my pelvis forward. Again, my back stays straight because the tilting is coming from the hip. So in other words, I'm not rounding like this forward. I'm actually tilting my pelvis forward. At the same time, I'm going to press my forearms into my thighs. So I'm feeling that stretch. Again, remember that intensity from 1 to 3. And everybody's going to be different here. You just want to feel a nice stretch. All right, here we go with our first 30 seconds. Just continue to breathe. Good, and then relax for 15 seconds. All right, here we go. Second time. Inhale, and then as you exhale, just tilting forward, bringing that chest forward till you feel a stretch. Good, and then with the inhale, go ahead and lift the torso. You'll want to stay at the edge of the seat. Just walk your feet back in. I'm going to turn diagonally so you can see what you're going to do. All right, so sitting up at the edge of your chair, what we want to focus in now is the chest and through the front of the shoulder. So sitting at the end of the chair, bring your hands back behind you, because as you can see as I do that, that's going to open up my chest. So, you know, your chair is going to be different than mine. Wherever you can put your hands, on the legs, maybe the back of the seat, whatever is comfortable for you to feel that opening in the chest. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades. Good. So normally we do this and we add a back bend. We're not interested in the back bend right now, so we just want to open up through the chest and the front of the shoulder. So again, wherever you feel that stretch, and we'll start our 30 seconds. Good. Relax it out for 15 seconds. Kind of wiggle it out a little bit if you'd like. And then, again, bringing the arms behind you. Maybe leaning back a little bit too. See if that helps to open up through the chest. Good. And then we'll come back into our second 30 seconds. Good, and then go ahead and release, just shake it out. And then staying at the edge of the chair, I'm going to turn that here. We're going to come into a stretch for the quad into the psoas. So we'll take the right leg, we're going to step it wide, but you're going to turn your hips to also face the right. And being up on the edge of the chair, then you should be able to drop this left knee down and then just wiggle that left foot back till you feel a nice stretch in the front of the thigh. Good. And you can hold on to the back of the seat of the chair or the front, whatever you need to support yourself to bring the torso upright. All right, so here we go, 30 seconds. And again, you want to feel that nice stretch all in here. The psoas muscle is right here. in the front of the hip, and that muscle is hard to stretch. You've got to kind of focus different stretches on that area, but it's the muscle that shortens from sitting all day or for long periods of time, so good to stretch that. All right, rest it out for 15 seconds. Good. All right, here we go. We're going to repeat with that left leg back. Good. And then go ahead and sweep that left leg forward. And then we're going to just take those legs all the way around. So now we'll do it with the right leg. So facing left, being up at the edge of the chair, and then dropping the right leg back and just wiggle your toes back to lengthen out through that right leg. Good. And holding on to the chair for support. And just holding for the 30 seconds. Good, and then 15 seconds of rest here, so just relax that right leg. Good, and then we'll come back to that right leg. Extend it behind you as far as you can, again, so you can feel that stretch. If you want to deepen it a little bit, if you lean back towards the right, do you feel how that deepens that stretch? Again, just an intensity from 1 to 3, so no pain. Good. All right. Sweep that right leg forward, and then we'll take those legs back to the front. So now we're going to work on the glutes, the outer hip. If you're okay crossing the right foot over the left thigh, then we'll come here. If you've been told not to do this, it's too extreme, then just cross the right foot over the left ankle, and coming up towards the edge of the chair, you should be able to open up that right knee. So you're either there or here. And here we go, 30 seconds. And same thing with this one. This is a pretty intense stretch, but if you're a little more flexible, pulling that chest forward, again, from the hip, not rounding through the back, you'll feel a deepening in that stretch. Good. All right, just relax it out. So if you did come forward, just lift the torso, relax it out for a moment. You can even uncross your leg if you'd like. Good. All right, here we go. Back to that right leg. We call this in yoga our seated pigeon. Some people call it a figure 4 because it looks like a number 4. It's just a great stretch for the glutes, that hip. You're hitting on that piriformis a little bit there too. Good, and then go ahead and release that right leg, and then we'll try it on the left. So you're either here, opening up that left knee, or if you can, here. Good, go ahead and rest it out. And then we'll come back to our stretch here, either crossing the ankle or crossing on the thigh. Good, and then go ahead and uncross, relax it out. And sitting comfortably in your chair, we'll now come back to the upper body. So starting with the right arm, you're going to bring the right arm across the body, use your left forearm or just your left hand, and hug that upper arm in towards you. Good, so now you should feel this stretch in the shoulder into the upper arm. We'll hold this for 30 seconds. Good, go ahead and release, just rest it out. If you want to do a couple little wiggles or shrugs, go ahead and do that. And we'll stay with that right arm. This is our second time now. Again, hugging that in towards you. Good, and then go ahead and release. And we're going to do that same thing on the left. So hug that left arm in. By the way, this is exercise number 6, so we've got 3 more to go. Good, relax it out. And then once again, now left arm across, just hug it in. Good, and then go ahead and release. And then we'll do this little hip walk coming back up to the edge of your chair. And then extending both legs out in front of you, heels on the floor, toes pointing up. So we're coming back to stretching the back of the thighs and into the glutes. Now, in order to get that intensity, if you're a little more flexible here, again, you're going to bend from the hip. Take a nice big inhale, and then as you exhale, think of just tipping forward or bringing the chest forward a little bit. Again, the low back stays straight. Good, and here we go. We've got 30 seconds. Good, and then relax it out. And here's our second time. So with your exhale, if you need to deepen, this is just if you're not quite feeling the stretch, just bringing the chest forward. Continue to breathe. Try tightening the top of the thighs. That actually helps those hamstrings to relax a little bit. And then possibly deepen the stretch. Good. All right, go ahead and relax. Walk your feet back in. So the next one is where the wall's going to come in. So finding that little section of wall, just enough to put your hands on it. So I apologize for having my back to you, but you'll be able to see what we're going to do. So we're actually going to be stretching the leg. This is a runner's lunge. You may have done this before just in your normal workout. So placing the hands on the wall, let's start by keeping the left leg forward. You're going to step the right foot back, press your heels down as you bend that left knee. Now, by pressing into the wall, you can bring your torso forward a little bit, press into the heel of that right leg. So you should feel this a lot in the calf, in the Achilles tendon, but I'm also feeling it up here in the thigh. All right, here we go, 30 seconds. Good. Just step forward as you rest it out. And then we'll do that same thing, same leg. All right, here we go. Step that right foot back. And then just leaning forward into your hands a little bit will deepen the stretch. Good, and then stepping that right foot forward, and then we'll come to the left, same thing. Step it back, press that heel down, feel a nice stretch in the back of the leg. All right, here we go, 30 seconds. Good, rest it out. want to do a couple wrist circles and stuff from pressing your hands on the wall. All right, here we go. Left side again, left leg. Step it back. Good. And then step that left foot forward. Let's go ahead and return to the chair for our last exercise, or last stretch, I should say. Sitting midway in the chair. So we're going to open the arms nice and wide and then bring them around and give yourself a big hug. And then kind of walk your hands towards your back, just so that you should be feeling this between the shoulder blades. So similar to the arm across the body, but now we're actually focusing more on those muscles in the middle of the spine, the trapezius, and underneath are the rhomboids in there. Good. And breathing. Now, before you release, just notice which arm you have on top, because we're going to take our 15 seconds here to relax it, and then we're going to switch and put the other arm on top for the second time. Good. All right, so extend those arms. So you've switched. Now you have the other arm on top. Good, and then go ahead and release. And that concludes our stretching program. I do invite you just to take a couple of moments to sit quietly, relax in the chair. So walking your hips all the way to the back, coming back into that comfortable seat, hands resting in the lap, and just closing the eyes and focusing on the breath. Notice the inhale and notice the exhale. And after your next inhale, just begin to lengthen the exhale. And then focusing on the physical body, relax all the muscles from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. And then focus on the mind. Release any thoughts, worries, or anxieties. Imagine yourself in a place that brings you peace. And just give yourself a few moments to completely let go. Begin to deepen your breath. And then start moving your fingers and toes. And then the wrists and the ankles. And slowly bending one knee and then the other. And then taking a nice deep cleansing breath. So take a nice big inhale and exhale it all out. And then go ahead and lift your head and open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next time.